The stars shimmered against the black void of space as the large alien ship approached Earth. It was bigger than any spacecraft humans had ever built, smooth and silver, with strange blue lights pulsing along its hull. The year was 2045, and humanity was about to change forever. Dr. Eric Mason stood nervously in the control room of the International Space Station. His heart beat fast as he watched the alien vessel come closer on the main screen. Next to him, Major Lisa Grant gripped the back of a chair so tightly her knuckles turned white. "Are we ready for this?" Eric whispered. Lisa glanced at him. "We have to be." The message had come 3 days ago, a simple greeting in perfect English, asking for permission to visit. After decades of searching the stars for signs of intelligent life, aliens had found us instead. The alien ship stopped a safe distance from Earth. A smaller craft separated from it and moved toward the space station. Eric and Lisa, chosen to represent humanity for this historic meeting, walked to the airlock and waited. The alien craft docked with a soft thud. There was a hiss of air as the pressure equalized. The door slid open and Eric held his breath. 3 beings entered the station. They walked on 2 legs like humans but had blue-gray skin and large oval-shaped heads. Their eyes were wide and black, set in faces with small mouths and no visible noses. They wore silver robes with strange symbols etched across the fabric. The boy, tallest alien, stepped forward. "I am Ambassador Zartek of the Galactic Council. We bring greetings from the 27 civilizations of our alliance." Eric stepped forward. "I'm Dr. Eric Mason, and this is Major Lisa Grant. We welcome you to Earth on behalf of all humanity." Zartek's large eyes blinked slowly. "We have watched your species for many years. You have reached a stage of development where contact is permitted." The meeting lasted for hours. The aliens explained that their council had existed for thousands of years, spreading peace and technology across the galaxy. They offered humanity a chance to join them as a protectorate species, a junior member with limited rights but access to advanced technology. "You can travel among the stars," Zartek said. "We will teach you how to cure disease, extend life, and harvest clean energy." "And what do you want in return?" Lisa asked, her military training making her cautious. "Resources," another alien answered. "Your planet is rich in rare elements we need, and cultural exchange. Each species brings new ideas to the Council." Back on Earth, world leaders met in emergency sessions. Videos of the aliens played on every screen across the globe. People celebrated in the streets, prayed in churches, or hid in fear. Humanity's understanding of the universe had been completely changed in a single day. 1 week later, at the United Nations headquarters in New York, the formal agreement was signed. Earth would join the Galactic Council as a protectorate. Humans would get amazing new technology, and the aliens would get mining rights to certain areas of Earth and other planets in the solar system. But there were rules, strict ones. No weapons in space, Zartek explained as the treaty was signed. All faster-than-light travel must be approved by the Council, and all technological development will be overseen by Council representatives. The President of the United States smiled for the cameras as she shook Zartek's hand, but many military leaders watched with concern. Among them was Admiral Carol West, head of the U.S. Navy's Space Division. She stood at the back of the room, her face showing no emotion as the treaty was signed. But inside, questions burned. Why were the aliens so insistent that humans couldn't have weapons in space? Why did they need to control human technology? After the ceremony, Admiral West walked into a secure meeting room deep beneath the Pentagon. 5 other military leaders from different countries waited for her. The door closed with a heavy thud, and all electronic devices were shut off. "I don't trust them," West said simply. "No advanced civilization gives away technology for just some mining rights." "But what choice do we have?" asked the Russian general. "We can't fight them. Their ships could destroy our entire fleet in minutes." "Not yet," West replied. "But we need insurance, something they don't expect." "You're talking about breaking the treaty," the British admiral said. "If they catch us." "I'm talking about protecting humanity," West cut in. "They've put a cage around us with these rules. I want to know why. For the next few months, humanity celebrated its new place in the galactic community. Alien technology began to transform Earth. New medical devices cured diseases that had killed millions. Clean energy systems replaced polluting power plants. The first official human colony on Mars was established with alien help. Dr. Eric Mason worked closely with the aliens, learning their science and sharing human knowledge. He believed in the partnership completely. "This is the greatest thing that has ever happened to us," he told Lisa Grant during a visit to the new Mars colony. "Look what we've accomplished in just 6 months." Lisa wasn't so sure. "Don't you think it's strange that they're so interested in our military history? They keep asking about our wars, our weapons." "They're anthropologists," Eric said. "They study cultures." But in a secret facility deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Admiral West had gathered a team of the brightest scientists and engineers who shared her concerns. They worked in a base carved into the ocean floor, hidden from the Council's watching satellites. Navy engineer Jack Porter stared at the holographic design floating in front of him. It showed a massive ship, unlike anything humans had built before. Next to him, Dr. Olivia Daniels worked on computer code that would run the ship's artificial intelligence. "The Council would never approve this design," Jack said quietly. Olivia didn't look up from her work. "That's the point." Admiral West entered the room and looked at the hologram. "How long until we can start building?" 2 years, maybe 3, Jack answered. "We have to do it slowly, quietly. If they detect the energy signatures..." West nodded. "Then we'll be careful. But we will build it." She looked at the ship design, at the weapons systems hidden beneath its hull, at the engines that could take it faster than the Council thought humans could go. "The Harbinger project is humanity's insurance policy," she said. "I hope we never need it. But if we do, the Council will learn that humans don't make good pets." Above them, on the surface of the Earth, humans and aliens continued their peaceful exchange. But beneath the waves, the seeds of rebellion were being planted. Humanity's first warship was taking shape in secret, and the galaxy would never be the same. 10 years passed since the aliens first arrived. Earth had changed in ways no one could have imagined. Gleaming cities rose from once polluted landscapes. Humans now lived twice as long as before. Colonies thrived on Mars and Europa, Jupiter's icy moon. Zartek stood by the window in his office in the Council Tower in New York. The building, a gift from the aliens, stretched nearly a mile into the sky. He watched the flying vehicles zip between buildings and felt a mix of pride and worry. "They learned too quickly," he said to his assistant. "The Council is concerned." His assistant, another blue-skinned alien, nodded. "Their technology upgrades were supposed to take 50 years. They've done it in 10. "Humans are inventive," Zartek replied. "That's why we must watch them carefully." Across the solar system on Europa, a team of human scientists tested a new drilling machine designed to reach the ocean hidden beneath the moon's icy crust. Council observers stood nearby, recording everything. Dr. Eric Mason, now the head of Human-Alien Scientific Cooperation, beamed with pride as the drill broke through the final layer of ice. Water surged up through the hole, then settled. "We did it," he exclaimed, turning to the aliens. "Now we can search for life in Europa's ocean." The lead alien observer nodded politely but said nothing. Eric's smile faded slightly. After 10 years, he had expected more trust from their galactic partners. Later that day, in a private room, Eric met with his old friend Lisa Grant, now a general in the United Space Force, a military branch that only existed because the Council allowed it. "They still treat us like children," Eric said, keeping his voice low. "I've given them everything they've asked for. I've followed every rule, but they still won't share the advanced propulsion technology." Lisa sipped her coffee. "You're finally seeing what some of us saw from the beginning. They're not partners, they're masters, and we're the useful pets." Eric shook his head. "No, they've helped us. Look at what we've accomplished." "Look at what they won't let us do," Lisa countered. "We can't explore beyond our system without permission. We can't build ships with certain capabilities. Don't you wonder why? Eric had no answer. For years he had been the Council's biggest supporter, but lately, doubts had begun to creep in. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in the secret facility now nicknamed the Trench, Admiral Carol West toured the massive underground construction bay. She was older now, her hair completely gray, but her eyes still burned with the same intensity. The ship taking shape before her was like nothing seen on Earth before. Nearly half a mile long, made of materials developed by combining human ingenuity with stolen alien knowledge, it was designed for one purpose: to protect humanity if the Council ever became a threat. Jack Porter, now in his 40s and the lead engineer, walked beside the Admiral. "We're nearly finished with the hull. The shield system works better than we hoped." "And the weapons?" West asked quietly. "Dr. Daniels has them operating at 80% efficiency. They're based on the Council's own designs, but we've made improvements." West nodded, allowing herself a small smile. "The Council thinks humans just copy their technology. They don't understand that we improve what we learn." Olivia Daniels approached, carrying a tablet computer. Her face looked tired after years of secret work, but her eyes lit up as she spoke. "The AI combat system is ready for final testing, Admiral. It can predict and counter Council ship movements based on all the data we've collected." West placed a hand on Olivia's shoulder. 10 years of work. Thousands of people keeping this secret. And we're almost ready." "Ready for what?" Jack asked quietly. "We still don't know if the Council is actually a threat." Before West could answer, an alarm sounded. A communications officer ran toward them. "Admiral, we're receiving an emergency transmission from Commander Riley in Intelligence. The Council is calling an emergency meeting about Earth." West frowned. "Send it to my private office." Minutes later, West stared at the screen showing Commander Patrick Riley. His face looked grave. "Admiral, one of our deep cover agents in the Council's intercommunication network just sent an urgent message. There's been an attack on a Council outpost near our solar system." "An attack? By whom?" "A species called the Vorx. They've never been mentioned to us before. They destroyed 3 Council worlds in the past week." West leaned forward. "And how does this concern Earth?" Riley's expression darkened. "The Council is debating whether to defend Earth or abandon us, but that's not the worst part. My agent intercepted private communications between senior Council members. Earth was never meant to be an equal partner." "We knew that," West said. "It's worse than we thought. We're not even meant to be a permanent protectorate. We're a resource world. Once we developed enough infrastructure using their technology, they planned to harvest us." West's face showed no emotion, but her hands gripped the edge of her desk, tightly. "Harvest? You mean our resources?" "No, Admiral. Us, humans. There's a faction in the Council that sees developing species as a resource. They help us advance, then take everything, including biological material." For a moment, West was silent. 10 years of suspicion had just been confirmed in the worst possible way. How long until the Vorx might reach our system? Days, maybe. The Council is in chaos. Some want to help us, others want to use us as a distraction while they escape. West stood up. "How soon until the Council meets about this?" 12 hours. They're gathering in orbit around Earth right now." West nodded, her decision made. "Commander Riley, return to Earth immediately. It's time." She ended the call and pressed a button on her desk. "All section leaders to the command center immediately. Operation Harbinger is now active." Throughout the hidden base, alarms began to sound. Men and women who had worked in secret for years rushed to their stations. Engineers powered up systems that had only been tested in simulations. In the massive underwater bay, lights blazed on, illuminating the huge vessel suspended in its cradle. On its hull, freshly painted, were the words, USS Defiance. Admiral West walked into the command center where Jack and Olivia waited. "The Council is about to learn that humanity is not a resource to be harvested," she said. "Prepare the ship for launch. We will surface when the Council fleet is in orbit." Olivia looked nervous. "Admiral, the Defiance was designed to fight if necessary, but we're still untested against actual Council ships." West's eyes narrowed. Then it's time for a test. The Council will watch in horror as humanity's first warship emerges. And then, they'll learn exactly what humans are capable of when betrayed. Throughout the base, the countdown began. The day humanity would take its true place among the stars was about to dawn. The Council chamber sat high in orbit above Earth. 27 alien leaders gathered in a giant room with walls made of a clear material stronger than any glass. Earth filled half the view, blue and beautiful against the blackness of space. Zartek stood before the Council, his blue skin pale with stress. The Vorex fleet has destroyed 3 of our outer worlds. Our defenses failed. They will reach this system in less than 2 Earth days. Murmurs spread through the chamber. A tall alien with red scales stood up. This was Gillifax, one of the oldest and most powerful council members. The human world sits directly in the Vorex path, Gillifax said. We should withdraw our people from Earth immediately. And the humans? Asked another council member. Gillifax waved a hand dismissively. They were always meant to be temporary. We have extracted enough resources and data from their world. The rest can be collected after the Vorex pass through. Zartek looked uncomfortable. Some of us believed the humans could become true allies one day. They learn quickly. They adapt. They could help us fight the Vorex. They are too dangerous, Gillifax replied. You've seen how quickly they modified our technology. Give them weapons, and they might turn on us. No, this is the perfect solution. The Vorex will weaken Earth, then we return to collect what remains. Many council members nodded in agreement, but a few looked troubled. A small green alien with 6 eyes spoke up. I must object. The humans trusted us. To abandon them now would be wrong. Your moral concerns are noted, Gillifax said coldly, but this council must act in the interest of our established worlds, not a primitive species we found only a decade ago. The debate continued, but it was clear which way the vote would go. Most of the council had always seen Earth as a resource, world, not a true partner. What the council didn't know was that every word they spoke was being heard. Commander Patrick Riley sat in a small maintenance room near the council chamber. He had placed tiny listening devices throughout the room, months ago. Now he heard the truth about humanity's place in the galaxy, and his blood ran cold. He touched the small communicator hidden in his ear. Admiral West, are you receiving this? Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, West and her team listened to the council's discussion with grim faces. We're receiving, West replied. Now we know where we stand. Prepare the Defiance for immediate launch. All personnel to battle stations. Throughout the underwater base, alarm klaxons sounded. Men and women who had worked in secret for years rushed to their stations. Some boarded the massive ship, while others prepared the launch bay. Jack Porter stood in the engine room of the Defiance, checking final readings. Power systems at 100%. Shields ready. Main drive ready. In the ship's brain center, Olivia Daniels spoke to the artificial intelligence she had created. Combat systems online. Are you ready, Athena? The AI's calm voice answered from speakers around the room. All systems functioning at optimal levels, Dr. Daniels. I am ready to assist in the defense of Earth. On the bridge, Admiral West took her seat in the command chair. Around her, crew members prepared for the ship's first real mission. Captain Greg Russell, chosen to command the Defiance in battle, stood at her side. The Council fleet has 23 ships in Earth orbit, Russell reported. Most are diplomatic vessels, but 5 are warships. West nodded. We're not looking for a fight, Captain, but we need to show enough force that they'll listen. And if they don't listen? Russell asked, quietly. West's face hardened. Then we make them listen. In the council chamber, the vote was complete. 21 members had voted to abandon Earth to the Vorex. Only 6 had voted to defend humanity. It is decided, Gillifax announced. We will withdraw all council personnel from Earth immediately. No warning will be given to the humans. Our official story will be that we tried to defend them but failed. Zartek looked sick. This is wrong. It is necessary, Gillifax replied. Begin the evacuation now. Suddenly alarms began to sound throughout the council ship. A junior officer rushed into the chamber. Counselors, our sensors detect a massive energy surge from Earth's ocean. The council members turned to look out the clear walls at the planet. Below, the Pacific Ocean seemed to bulge upward in one spot, water rising in a huge dome. "What is happening?" demanded Gillifax. No one had an answer. Then the water exploded outward as something massive broke the surface. It was a ship, but not like any ship the council had ever seen humans build. It was enormous, nearly half a mile long, with a sleek black hull that seemed to swallow light. Blue energy pulsed along its length and weapons ports dotted its surface. "Impossible," whispered Gillifax. "They couldn't have built this, not with the technology we gave them." The human ship rose into the air, water cascading from its hull. It climbed higher and higher, moving faster than council ships of similar size could move. Within minutes, it had left Earth's atmosphere and was heading straight for the council fleet. Commander Riley slipped out of his hiding place during the confusion and made his way to a small shuttle bay. He needed to get back to the Defiance. Now. On the bridge of the giant human warship, Admiral West stood as Earth fell away below them. "Open a channel to the council ship," she ordered. "All frequencies." The communications officer worked his console. "Channel open, Admiral." West took a deep breath. "This is Admiral Carol West of the Earth Defense Force vessel Defiance. We have heard your discussions regarding the abandonment of Earth to the Vorex threat. We have also heard your long-term plans for our world." In the council chamber, the aliens froze in shock as the human woman's voice echoed from their speakers. Her words were calm but carried an unmistakable edge of steel. "Humanity will not be sacrificed," West continued. "Nor will we be harvested at your convenience. The terms of our agreement with the Galactic Council are hereby null and void." Gillifax sputtered in rage. "How dare they? This vessel violates every treaty. Destroy it immediately." Two council warships broke formation and moved toward the Defiance, weapons powering up. On the Defiance's bridge, Captain Russell reported, "Two council warships are moving to intercept. They're charging weapons." West nodded calmly. "Raise shields. Power up defensive systems only. Let's show them what humanity can really do." As the council watched in horror, their first shots hit the human ship and bounced off shields far more powerful than humans should have been able to create. The Defiance didn't fire back. It didn't need to. It simply held position, absorbing everything the council ships could throw at it. "The council believed they were guiding our development," West's voice continued broadcasting. "In reality, we were learning, adapting, and preparing. Now Earth faces a threat, and you chose to abandon us." She paused, then delivered her final message. "The question is no longer what the Council will do with humanity. The question is what humanity will do with the Council." Silence filled the council chamber. The alien leaders stared at the massive human warship floating outside their windows. The Defiance hung in space, its dark hull reflecting the distant sun's light. The two council warships continued firing, but their weapons couldn't break through the human ship's shields. Gillifax slammed his fist on the table. "This is impossible. Their shields cannot be this strong." Zartek watched with a mix of fear and admiration. "They learned from us, then improved upon what they learned. I warned you not to underestimate them." A small shuttle approached the Defiance. It was Commander Riley returning from his spy mission. The Defiance opened a small bay door and the shuttle slipped inside. Minutes later, Riley rushed onto the bridge where Admiral West waited. "Commander Riley reporting, Admiral," he said, slightly out of breath. "The Council is in chaos. Most of them voted to abandon Earth to the Vorex. Only 6 members voted to help us." West nodded grimly. "Then we stand alone." "Not completely," Riley added. Zartek and a few others argued for us. They seemed genuinely upset about the decision. On the main screen, they could see the Council ships forming a defensive pattern. 3 more warships moved to join the first 2. Captain Russell stepped forward. "Admiral, they're grouping their warships. 5 against 1 aren't good odds. Even with our technology, we don't need to fight them all, West replied. Just convince them we're not helpless. She turned to the communications officer. Send a message to Zartek specifically. Tell him we wish to speak with the reasonable members of the council. In the council chamber, Zartek received the message. Gillifax was still shouting orders to destroy the human ship. We cannot destroy it, one of the military officers replied to Gillifax. Our weapons are having no effect. Zartek stood up. The humans want to talk. Perhaps we should listen. Listen? They violated every agreement, Gillifax hissed. They built weapons we specifically forbade. Because they somehow knew we might abandon them, Zartek shot back. I will speak with them. Before Gillifax could object further, a new alarm sounded. A junior officer rushed in once again. Counselors. Long-range sensors detect multiple ships entering the system. It's the Vorx. They'll reach Earth in 6 hours. The chamber erupted in panic. The Vorx had arrived much sooner than expected. Gillifax's red scales paled. Prepare all ships for immediate departure. You would still abandon Earth? Zartek asked in disbelief. The Vorx destroyed 3 of our worlds in days, Gillifax replied. We must save ourselves. On the Defiance, the crew also detected the approaching Vorx fleet. 27 ships, reported the sensor officer. Much larger than our intelligence suggested. West exchanged glances with Captain Russell. We built the Defiance to face the Council, not an unknown enemy force of this size. What are your orders, Admiral? Russell asked. West thought for a moment. The Council is fractured. Some want to help, some want to run. We need allies, even if they're reluctant ones. She stood up straight. Take us closer to the Council ship. I'm going over. There. Admiral, that's too dangerous, Jack Porter objected. Sometimes leadership means taking risks, West replied. Captain Russell, you have command of the Defiance. If I don't return in 2 hours, or if the Vorx arrive early, your priority is protecting Earth. West took a small team including Commander Riley and Dr. Olivia Daniels to the Council ship in a shuttle. When they arrived, they were met by Zartek and a group of guards. You took an enormous risk coming here, Zartek said as they walked toward the Council chamber. Less risk than you think, West replied. We've had the capability to destroy this entire fleet for years. We chose not to. Zartek looked at her with new respect. Then why reveal yourselves now? Because now we face a common enemy, West answered. One that threatens us all. They entered the council chamber where the alien leaders waited. Many looked afraid, others angry. Gillifax glared at the humans with open hatred. Counselors, West began. The Vorx will be here in less than 6 hours. You've seen what they did to your outer worlds. Earth is directly in their path, which is why we must leave immediately, Gillifax said. Running won't save you, Riley spoke up. Our intelligence suggests the Vorx are specifically targeting council worlds. They're hunting you. This caused a stir among the council members. What do you propose? Asked one of the aliens who had voted to help Earth. An alliance, West said simply. You have experience. We have a ship with technology that surprised even you. Together, we might stand a chance. Why should we trust you? Demanded Gillifax. You built forbidden weapons. We built protection, Olivia corrected him. And it's good that we did, or none of us would have a chance against the Vorx. The debate raged for nearly an hour. During this time, another council ship arrived. It was their military command vessel, carrying Admiral Zendrath, the council's top military leader. Zendrath was tall and gray-skinned, with a face covered in scars from past battles. He listened to the argument silently, then spoke. I have reviewed the sensor data from our ships that fired on the human vessel, he said in a deep voice. Their technology is impressive. Perhaps we should see what else they can do. Gillifax was outraged. You would side with these primitives? I would side with anyone who might help us survive, Zendrath replied calmly. The Vorx destroyed my homeworld 2 days ago. I have nothing left but revenge. He turned to West. What capabilities does your ship have? The Defiance has shield, technology that can withstand your most powerful weapons, West explained. We have energy weapons based on principles your scientists shared, but modified. And we have an AI combat system more advanced than anything in your fleet. Impossible, muttered one of the council members. You've been sharing technology with us for 10 years, Olivia said. Did you really think we'd just copy it? Humans don't work that way. We improve. We innovate. Zendrath nodded slowly. I believe them, and we need their help. A new alert sounded. The Vorex had increased speed. They would arrive in just 3 hours. We must decide now, Zartek urged the council. Gillifax stood up. I will not fight alongside humans. Those who wish to flee follow me. He and 9 other council members left the chamber, heading for their ships. Zendrath watched them go, then turned to the remaining council members. And the rest of you? One by one, the remaining 16 council members voted to stay and fight alongside the humans. It wasn't friendship or trust that motivated them. It was survival. West nodded to Riley and Olivia. Return to the Defiance. Begin preparations for battle. She turned to Zendrath. Admiral to Admiral, let's plan how to defend Earth together. As West and Zendrath began discussing strategy, Gillifax and his followers fled the solar system. The countdown to the Vorex arrival continued. In just 3 hours, humanity would face its first interstellar battle. Not alone, but with reluctant allies at their side. The combined fleet waited in Earth's orbit. 16 council ships formed a defensive line alongside the Defiance. Admiral West stood on the bridge of the human warship, watching the tactical display. Next to her, Admiral Zendrath represented the council forces. The Vorex will exit faster than light travel near your moon, Zendrath explained. They always follow the same pattern. First, they send smaller ships to test defenses, then their main vessels attack. West nodded. We'll be ready, Captain Russell. Studied the alien fleet formations on his screen. Their ships are impressive, but their tactics seem predictable. Zendrath looked surprised. The Vorex have destroyed 3 council worlds. There is nothing predictable about them. Russell didn't argue, but he exchanged a meaningful look with West. Something didn't feel right about these supposedly unstoppable enemies. In the ship's engineering section, Jack Porter worked with council technicians to link the Defiance's shield system with the alien vessels. The council engineers were amazed by what they saw. Your power distribution is far more efficient than ours, one of them admitted. How did you develop this? Jack shrugged. We looked at your designs and asked, how can we make this better? That's what humans do. In the AI Center, Olivia Daniels showed Zartek the ship's artificial intelligence system. This is Athena, she explained. She can predict enemy movements and coordinate our defenses. Zartek stared at the complex displays. We were told humans were decades away from this level of AI. You were told wrong, Olivia replied simply. The alert sounded throughout all ships. The Vorex had arrived. 27 black ships appeared, near the moon, their shapes jagged and menacing. They moved with perfect coordination like a single organism with many parts. They're scanning us, reported the sensor officer on the Defiance. Let them look, West said. Everyone to battle stations. Throughout the human ship, crew members moved to their positions. They had trained for years for this moment. Now they would finally see if their secret work would save their world. The first wave of Vorex ships broke from the main group and headed toward Earth. 5 smaller vessels moving fast. They're targeting our weakest point, Zendrath observed. The gap between your ship and the council defense line. West nodded to Russell. Close the gap, Captain. Let's show them what the Defiance can do. The massive human ship moved with surprising speed, sliding into position just as the Vorex attackers arrived. Energy weapons fired from the alien ships, striking the Defiance's shields. Shields holding at 92%, reported Jack from engineering. Their weapons are powerful, but nothing we can't handle. Return fire, ordered Russell. Target their propulsion systems only. The Defiance's weapons activated for the first time in real combat. Beams of blue energy lanced out, striking each Vorex ship with perfect accuracy. 4 of the 5 attackers spun out of control, their engines disabled. "The fifth ship is retreating," the tactical officer announced with a hint of pride. Zendrath stared in disbelief. "How did you target them so precisely?" "The Vorex ships have advanced stealth systems. Athena identified patterns in their movement," West explained. "Nothing is truly random. The main Vorex fleet was moving now, spreading out to surround the defenders. 22 ships against 17. They're trying to circle us," Zendrath warned. "This is how they destroyed the defense fleets at Krell Prime." "Athena, analysis," West called out. The AI's calm voice filled the bridge. "The Vorex ships move in perfect coordination. Too perfect. Their movements follow mathematical patterns consistent with remote control rather than individual commanders." This caught Zendrath's attention. Remote control? Impossible. The energy required to control ships across such distances. "Unless they're being controlled from somewhere closer," Commander Riley suggested. He had been quietly analyzing the sensor data. "There's an unusual energy signature coming from one of the larger Vorex ships." West made a quick decision. "Captain Russell, take us toward that ship. Council forces, please provide covering fire." The battle exploded across the space around Earth. Council ships fired at the Vorex fleet while the Defiance pushed forward toward the command ship. The human vessel took heavy fire, but its shields held. "Shields at 67%, Jack reported from engineering. "We can keep this up for hours if needed." The Defiance closed in on its target. As they got closer, Athena made a startling discovery. "Admiral," the AI reported, "I'm detecting communication signals between the Vorex command ship and a location outside our solar system. The signal pattern matches Council military encryption." West and Zendrath looked at each other. "That's impossible," the alien admiral said. Unless the Vorex are working with someone in the Council." West finished his thought. The implications were clear. This wasn't a random attack. Someone had sent the Vorex here deliberately. "Can you trace the signal?" West asked Athena. "Yes. It leads to a small ship at the edge of the solar system." Tactical displays showed the ship, a Council vessel that had supposedly fled with Gillifax's group. "It appears we've found our puppet master," West said grimly. "Zendrath, did you know about this?" The alien admiral's face showed genuine shock. "No. But I suspected something was wrong. The Vorex appeared too suddenly, struck too precisely at Council worlds. They're not a natural enemy," Riley concluded. "They're a weapon, created or controlled by someone in the Council." West nodded to her weapons officer. "Disable the command ship's signal array. Don't destroy the vessel. We need evidence." The Defiance fired a precise shot that cut the Vorex command ship's communications. The effect was immediate and dramatic. The Vorex fleet fell into disarray, ships moving erratically or not moving at all. "They're like puppets with cut strings," Russell observed. West turned to Zendrath. "I think it's time we had a talk with Gillifax, don't you?" The battle ended quickly after that. Without central control, the Vorex ships were easily contained. Council and human teams boarded the command ship and found it operated by automated systems, not living crews. Days later, the truth came out. Gillifax and his faction had created the Vorex as a tool to keep younger species in line. When a new civilization grew too independent, the Vorex would attack, forcing them back under Council protection. If a species was deemed too troublesome, the Vorex would destroy them completely. In an emergency session, the remaining Council members voted to remove Gillifax and his supporters from power. The conspiracy had been running for centuries, keeping dozens of species under control through manufactured threats. Admiral West stood in the new Council chamber, now located on Earth, as a symbol of the changing balance of power. Beside her stood Captain Russell, Jack Porter, and Olivia Daniels, the team that had made the Defiance possible. Humanity never wanted war, West told the gathered aliens. "We built our ship because we sensed a threat. We were right, but not in the way we expected." Zartek, now the acting head of the Council, nodded. "Your caution saved not just your world, but many others. The Council must change. No more protectorates. All species will be true equals. Zendrath approached West after the meeting. Your ship was impressive, Admiral, but I suspect it's not the only one. West smiled slightly. The Defiance was our first. It won't be our last. As she looked out the window at Earth below, West felt a mix of pride and hope. Humanity had faced its first test among the stars and emerged stronger than before. Not through conquest, but through caution, preparation, and ultimately cooperation. The stars were no longer beyond reach. They were humanity's new frontier, and this time they would go forward as equals, not subjects. The Council had watched in horror as humanity's first warship emerged. Now they would watch with respect as humanity took its place among the stars.